welcome to stand-up comedy night here at the great Tumbleroot. Shout out to Tumbleroot for having us. Yeah. This is a Wayward comedy production. We are Santa Fe's best and only local comedy group. It's great to see you guys. How you guys doing? You doing good? Liars. You all came to a comedy show on September 11th. You're not doing well. I can't judge. We're hosting a comedy show on 9/11, so this is kind of like the Spider-Man meme, where it's no judgment either way. My name is Tripp. I'm going to be your host tonight. We have a bunch of great comics coming up. I'm going to get things started. It's great to see you guys, and again, I know it's a sad day. It's September 11th. We're not going to dwell on it, but it is the 20th anniversary of September 11th. September 11th is 20 years old, which means that today it is officially too old for Rudy Giuliani to want to fuck it anymore. I just said I thought we were going to judge. What's with the ooh? You don't owe me, I owe you. You're here on 9/11. That's the only one I'm going to do. We're not going to fucking dwell on that. But I will ask, am I supposed to be afraid of the Taliban? Because I'm not. I don't know. I feel like in the last couple of weeks, the news is trying to make me afraid of the Taliban, the Taliban, the Taliban. I'm not afraid of the Taliban. I'm afraid of getting shot at the mall, by an angry virgin in a red baseball hat. I'm sure they're very scary over there, but I have things closer to home. I'm not afraid of the Taliban. I'm afraid of hitting install update on my iPhone. Did your asshole just clench up a little bit? It's horrifying stuff. I'm not afraid of the Taliban. I'm afraid of whatever the CDC is going to say tomorrow. They're going to be like, actually, the horseworm medication works perfectly. God damn it. I have to apologize to my aunt on Facebook now. I'm not afraid of the Taliban. I'm sorry. Have you seen the Taliban? Every photo of the Taliban there's just a bunch of big fat guys with beards. Like, if you can picture, and they're all holding rocket launchers like it's the first time they've held rocket launchers. It's upside down. Like, picture the actor who played Hagrid, and Zach Galifianakis, and George R.R. Martin are all walking along the road together, and they find rocket launchers, and then somebody's like, smile for the camera, and they're all like, that's every picture of the Taliban. Every time I see a picture of the Taliban, I feel like when I found out Tom Cruise is 5'2". No. Anyway, yeah, my name is Tripp. I know that's a silly name. That's the kind of name that when I'm filling out a job application and I get to the box for race and ethnicity, I can go ahead and leave that blank. Everybody knows what I look like. If the police were ever looking for me, they'd be like, what's his name? Yeah, send the sketch artist home. Yeah, we don't need. Just pull up stock images of people who shop at Trader Joe's and only Trader Joe's. I know what I look and sound like. I look and sound like a guy named Tripp. I went to a bar recently. It was a new place. Never been there. Bartender said, "What do you have?" I said, "What do you think I would like?" And he handed me a Sunday edition of the New York Times. It's actually perfect. This is a true story. I hate conflict. I'm like the opposite of Israel. I was at this party. Oh, some Benjamin Netanyahu fans over here, okay. I was at this party and I introduced myself. You know how you introduce yourself? I was like, my name is Tripp. But the guy heard Tip, and I just let it happen. It's easier to just be, what am I gonna do, correct him? Sorry, it's not Tip, that's ridiculous. My name is Tripp. He would have been like, Tripp, what's the fucking difference? Either way, you make kombucha in your basement, right? So I just let it happen. The problem was this guy was the host of the party. So he was being a good host. He introduced me. Within 20 minutes, there's 50 people at this party who now know me as Tip. I'm thinking at this point, maybe I start over. Maybe this Tip guy will stand up for himself. It got too much. At a certain point, this is true, there was a guy at the party who said, "Oh, your name's Tip? I really like the name Tip. It reminds me of Tip O'Neill. You heard of him? Yeah, he was a great Speaker of the House in the U.S. Congress from the state of Illinois, Tip O'Neill, during the Bill Clinton years. Yeah, Tip O'Neill, great name." I was like, this has gone too far. I have to. I said, "I'm sorry. I never do this. I hate to correct you. But Tip O'Neill was from Massachusetts." Okay. Catholic priests. So, abortion has been in the news. Catholic priests are very angry about it. They're getting in on it. I don't know if you saw this. Catholic priests said that if you support abortion, they will no longer give you communion. Oh, the little Jesus cookie at the end, you know? Because abortion is very bad. Yeah, and I don't, let's just set that. This is just me, okay? I don't know how you feel. Catholic priests, how do I put this delicately? Catholic priests, when you molest 10,000 children, maybe shut the fuck up. I don't know. Maybe shut the fuck up. You don't get to molest 10,000 children and then start fucking pointing the judgy fingers at other people about random bullshit. There isn't even an analogy for that kind of deranged behavior. That'd be like if you were at a party and some drunk guy was like, hey everybody, check out Samantha. Samantha's such a bitch. Samantha drank the last White Claw, everybody. Check out Samantha, what a bitch. You'd be like, Derek, you molested 10,000 children. Don't talk about Samantha. Samantha has the freedom to choose her own path at this party. She can have White Claw, she can have 30 White Claws, she can have no White Claws. She can throw a White Claw at the Supreme Court of the United States. You should be in jail, Derek. Anyway, the hospitals are full. Shit. But it's not COVID this time. I don't know if you know this. The hospitals are not full of... The hospitals are full of people who injured themselves climbing on top of milk crates. You seen this? What the fuck is that? I'll just tell you, maybe I'm an old soul, but that disgusts me. This trend. The younger generation. You don't climb on top of a milk crate for some stupid viral video challenge. You climb on top of a milk crate to hang yourself. That's the country I grew up in. Thank you. Thank you. So I have a girlfriend. My girlfriend tells me I'm great. Right? And it's starting to get to me. I'm starting to think, maybe I'm okay, But then she started telling me about some of her ex-boyfriends. And I realized I'm not great. I just have great timing. She'll be like, oh, so right before you there was Greg. Greg was missing several prominent teeth. How prominent? Right up there in the front. Why was he missing these teeth? He didn't believe in dentists. It's a conspiracy theory for him. This guy was right before me, right before you. If you come after a dumpster fire, like right after, the bar is very low. I'm like the Joe Biden of boyfriends. Does that make sense? Yeah. My girlfriend will be like, honey, our anniversary's coming up. Are you gonna get me that Green New Deal we talked about? No, I'm not. She's like, well, but at least you're not gonna go on TV and tell people to drink bleach. No, I'm not. I'm also not gonna take the trash out. She's like, I don't even care, this is so fucking hot. She's like, oh, but honey, what about that mess in Afghanistan? I'm like, babe, how many times do I have to tell you? I pull out, right, okay? I pull out, I don't care what kind of mess it leaves afterwards, right? I've told you this before, I'll tell you again, babe, America, you will always come first, all right? Never forget. Hey, thank you guys for coming. You guys are a great crowd. Great comics coming up. First on the agenda, a Wayward comedy classic. You'll love him. His name is TJ Jones, everybody. TJ Jones.
Classic, that means old, right? All right, how's it going, everybody? I got a little audience participation tonight. When I say hey, you say ho. Hey! Hey! When I say hi, you say low. Hi! Hi! That was great. Unfortunately, that's how Trump got elected, so you also need to start thinking for yourselves a little bit, okay? Can't just go along with whatever somebody says just because it feels right. But let's do it again, huh? When I say Karen, you say sucks. Karen! Karen! Yeah, we should fucking kill Karen. March to her house carrying tiki torches, chanting something fucking stupid like, Karen will not replace us. See how quickly that shit escalates? This is so cool. Last time I was here, I didn't even realize I was hanging out in a green room. I felt like tonight I feel like I arrived. Because the only other time I've ever hung out in a green room, I was blowing somebody in the band. So it's a new thing for me. I'm not gay, but See, I wrote that down right here, actually, just in case I forgot. When I was younger, people used to think I was gay all the time, and it really bothered me. I was not a very woke person back then, so somebody would say, "Oh, I thought you were gay." I'm not fucking gay, all right? I'll beat your dick off. That's how not gay I am. No, that doesn't, that doesn't work. Yeah, a lot's changed since then. Nobody asks me that anymore, but if they were to ask me that, if they were to say, "Oh, TJ, I thought you were gay," in this day and age, I would probably say something more like, "Oh, no, I wish I were gay. You know how much I want to be in a parade? Oh, it's going to be so much fun. Those guys are having a good time. I am not having a good time." Before the pandemic, actually, a gay guy hit on me, which was fucking awesome. God, that was so great. Especially because I got to reject him. That was really fun. I've never gotten to reject anybody in my entire life. It was so cool. I got this like warm, fuzzy feeling all over, and I felt all this like supreme confidence, and I totally understand why women do it to me all the time. So, some of you that were here last time might know why I'm about to do this. This is really hard for me to do, okay? I don't practice Santeria. I ain't got no crystal ball. This is what happened, okay? I said some shit that got me into a little bit of trouble last time. What happened was I was talking about addiction, and I was talking about being sober, which I am, and I was talking about the show Intervention, and about how I was watching the show Intervention, and I said that the subject of the show would probably be better off if he OD'd and died. And the crowd went, "Ugh." And then later on in the show, I was talking about how much I hate the band Sublime, and that I was glad that motherfucker was dead so that he couldn't write any more shitty music. And the crowd seemed to like that. I don't know. There's not really much of a difference between those two statements. And so after the show, I just knew somebody was going to come up to me and give me a hard time about that Intervention joke. And I was ready for it. I was totally ready for it. I wasn't about to apologize for it or anything like that, but I was ready to defend myself. And nothing happened. Nobody came and found me. But the Sublime fans found me. Oh boy, did they find me. 3 separate guys all dressed exactly the same way. Cargo shorts, t-shirt, baseball cap, flip-flops. Ugh. And they all said the same shit. They're like, "Dude, that's pretty fucked up what you said about Bradley, bro. It's pretty fucked up. I mean, you're a pretty funny guy, dude, but you go too far, dude. You go too far." Yeah. It was eye-opening to say the least. But yeah, flip-flops. What the fuck, dude? Come on, get the fuck out of here. I am sober. I'm in recovery. Am I recovered yet? Can I be fucking recovered after all this time? It's been fucking 9 years. What the fuck? Can I just not say that anymore? I don't know why you're clapping. It's, the relapse is just around the corner. I am in recovery. I went through, I got sober because of trouble. I got into trouble and was forced into treatment. And I really hated all that treatment because I knew that if I fucked up and got high, I was going to wind up in jail. Okay, that was the rule. So I didn't really, I felt like I didn't really need treatment. And every single day in treatment, they would say the same shit. The same thing that they say in Alcoholics Anonymous, which is addiction is a disease and you have no power over it. And I was like, no, addiction is not a disease. And it's not a disease, Lupus is a disease. You can't go out all night doing too much lupus, okay? And then wake up in the morning and be like, oh God, I'm never doing lupus again. That was too much lupus. Yeah, there's a difference. It's a slight difference, but it is a difference, But one thing, okay, take it from an expert. If you wake up in the morning and you say to yourself, oh God, I'm never doing that again, and then you go right out and do that shit again, you might have a problem. Just so you know. But I do think you guys, most people would go out drinking in a bar, you know what I mean? You guys went out and you're drinking in a fucking distillery. That's fucking gangster, god damn. So yeah, I did get into trouble, and I got thrown in prison for 2 years, a minimum security prison. The night I got arrested, there's a fun story. I was just driving in a car. That's all I was doing, just driving along in a car. It was late at night, and we had just crossed the state line, and we had been in Phoenix earlier that day, and we'd been shopping in Phoenix, doing a little shopping. We had a little package in the car. It was sort of like a tiny little package. It only weighed like 2.2 pounds. And God, the cops made such a big fucking deal about it. Oh my God. It's like the end of the fucking world with them. And, like 30 cops, armed to the teeth with machine guns and all this other shit. But the leader of this whole task force that took us down was super hot. Oh my gosh, she was so beautiful. Isabel will be up here later. Just imagine Isabel with a machine gun, okay? So good looking. I had to go to court like over and over and over again and see this woman. And I'd just be sitting there at the defense table, with my attorney, like this. She's so pretty. I wonder if she likes me. She doesn't. Oh, I really don't think I should do this next bit. So, my cat died recently. It was really sad. I say my cat died, but what actually happened is I paid a professional to murder my cat while I watched. Anybody else do that? Yeah. It was really sad and didn't really know what to make myself feel better, so I jerked off on his corpse. Kind of freaked the vet out too. She was like, "What the fuck, dude?" No, I didn't do that. You think I'd be standing here if I did that? I waited until I got home. Marshall, my cat, he had fans on Facebook, so I did a little memorial for him on Facebook. And it was Marshall and I named him after Marshall Mathers, actually. Eminem. Yeah, I know Marshall. I remember Marshall. Marshall and I had been together for 16 years. 16 years. It was the longest relationship I'd ever been in my life. And it figures that he was an abusive asshole because that's the kind of people I attracted in my world. Like I said, I had to go to prison for 2 years. And I was at home and I was there with Marshall, and I sat down with him, and some pet owners might relate to this, but I sat down with him and I begged him not to die while I was in prison, because I knew that if I got that news while I was in prison, that I would end up crying in prison, which is never a good look. And he seemed to understand, and then he walked away and proceeded to vomit all over the side of my couch while standing on tile. Could have just fucking vomited on the tile. Would have been a lot easier to clean up, that motherfucker. Oh, it's okay. Let's see. A lot of my friends are here tonight. I've noticed that when my friends show up to see me do comedy, I don't really do as well, and I've been trying to analyze it and figure out why I don't really do as well when my friends show up to see me do comedy. And I can't figure it out, so what I've decided is that I'm just not going to be their friend anymore. Because I'm dedicated to the craft, okay? So, Amrit, Sadhari, we're done, okay? They think I'm kidding. Actually, my best friend is here tonight, my best friend Sadhari, so I figured I'd make her feel really awkward and uncomfortable. She's my best friend. I've known her for like 25 years. And it's weird because she's my best friend, but I don't know if I'm her best friend. You know what I mean? She would want me to let everybody here know that we are not together, okay? She would want that to be very clear, all right? We went out to dinner one night. We go out to dinner all the time, and every once in a while we get mistaken as a couple, and it really bothers her. It really bothers her a lot. I don't blame her, but we were out to dinner one night at the sushi bar downtown. And the woman who was waiting on us, English was her second language, and she was like, "Oh, you and your husband," and so Carla was like, "Oh, no, we're not together. We're not together." She started to walk away. She's like, "I'm not with him. I'm not with him." I'm just kidding. I love you. You know what, folks? That's it for me. You've been a fantastic crowd. Please come to our open mic on Wednesday nights at Chili Wine Brewery. Thank you so much. Where's Tripp? Come on out here, Tripp. I'm not with him! Get out of here!
All right. You guys are a great crowd. I know we keep saying that, but really, thank you for coming. We're going to keep it moving. Two sweaty white men to start the show in a row is too many. So we're going to bring up a change of pace. Very funny, Isabel Madley, everybody. Isabel.
So, do you guys watch reality TV, or are you happy?
Yes.
You can tell which one I am. I'm not like other girls, though. I mean, I don't watch all of the reality shows. Like, I've never seen an episode of The Kardashians. I don't watch all those murder porn shows, which a lot of people are really into. It's like, let's cozy up with my pumpkin spice and watch that new doc on Jeffrey Dahmer. Looks cute. I don't watch cooking shows. I don't watch HGTV, you know? It's like, tiny house husbands. Here's Mark and Mark. They have no sex life to speak of, so they challenge their sexual frustration into renovating houses. They'll turn shitty little shacks into gentrified shacks. It's like, we whitewashed the cabinets, and it's like, I'll bet you did, Mark. I'll bet you did. I miss the old school reality shows, the really fucking weird ones. Like, do you guys remember Pimp My Ride? Yeah, it's like, we took your 1991 Toyota Tercel worth $1,400 and we crammed $20,000 of stereo equipment in it. And we put a home theater system in the trunk so you can watch shit while you stare into your trunk. And I hope you like 3-inch thick, bright orange shag carpeting all over the place, because it is a reality for you now. Gritty's pubes are in your field of vision. It is a safety hazard. There was also Date My Mom. TJ would like that one. There was Next. Do you guys remember Next? Yeah, it was like Tinder in real life. They have like a bus full of suitors, and each one can step off, and the contestant can just be like, no, next. And the format isn't even the best part. The best part was all the contestants like would have like, you know, like fun facts, and they would just be batshit insane. It'd be like, I'm Kendall, like I'm a Libra, I love the beach, and I've shit myself twice on a Ferris wheel. Or it's like, I'm Josh, my favorite movie is Grandma's Boy. I'm an entrepreneur and I can suck my own dick. Poorly. That's right, Josh is not a giving lover, even to himself. There was also Fear Factor. I actually had to double check that Fear Factor was even, like, I thought it might have already been rebooted, but it's been rebooted twice. But it's not on TV currently, and I think it's time to bring it back for 2021. We can have Joe Rogan be the host again, if he survives his horse paste. And instead of, like, people jumping in a vat of cow's blood or drinking donkey semen, both of which are totally real challenges they had, it'd be like, these incels have to have a face-to-face conversation with a real human woman. And they have to make eye contact while they do it. Or like, this anti-vax mom has to decide, is she gonna get the COVID vaccine or tell her gay sister that she loves and accepts her? Spoiler, Deborah chooses neither. She leaves the show. It's a big dramatic conclusion. There are some really good ones on now, I have to admit. I love the dating shows, the interpersonal drama. Again, because my life has not turned out the way that I wanted it to. We've got 90 Day Fiancé. Ooh, and all the spin-offs. Yeah, we've got Catfish, which for those of you who don't know, either because you've been living under a rock or because your lives are fulfilling. Catfish is a show where people go online, you know, they've been talking to someone online and they have to find out if the person they've been talking to is really them, is really real. Now, are they usually real?
No.
No, fuck no! That's why we watch it. We like the Schadenfreude. We like it to be juicy. We like to watch other people suffering. because it makes us feel better about ourselves. You know, it's like, I may have a toxic ex, but at least I didn't fall in love and give $1,500 to a neckbeard in Arkansas who claimed to be a 24-year-old rap producer. At least there's that. And then there's Bachelor in Paradise. Fuck yeah. It's on right now. It's juicy as fuck. We've got like, the Bachelor and Bachelorette are very serious. I mean, as far as reality TV shit goes, it's like, the aim is to like give a rose and perhaps propose at the end. It's more sober and mature. Bachelor in Paradise takes all those contestants and just puts them on Fuck Island. And there are no rules, and they're actively encouraged to be as slutty and shitty as possible. So there's a ton of people all put together with practically no emotional intelligence, trying to articulate their feelings, and I find that really entertaining. It'll be like Kyle on the beach, and he's like, well, Jenna M looked really sad, so I gave her a bracelet, and she smiled, so I can tell that I made her happy. And I think we have one of the strongest connections on the beach. I think she's gonna give me her rose this week. And the girl's like, he's nice. All of that to say, it has reminded me of my past few weeks of my life. I did go through a breakup in the past few weeks. Yeah, give it up for me. Yeah, pay me. Oh, it feels good. And within a week, I mean less than a week, no less than 3 of my male friends came on to me. And they did it in that jokey way where they're like, wouldn't it be so weird, like, if you and me, like, no, I'm just kidding, like, unless, no, I'm kidding, it's such a weird joke, like, no, I'm totally like, that's such a dumb joke. And it's such weird timing, because it's like, ooh, they heard, like, ooh, you're heartbroken, you're sad, like, she's all teed up and ready to go. And they did it in that jokey way, you know, where it's like, if you joke that you, like, want to see my tits, like, I know it's not a joke. And how am I supposed to respond? Like, wait, these old things? Really? Aww. You're such a sweetheart. Like, okay, you know. And it's also this kind of nice guy vibe where it feels like because they've been friends with me long enough, they feel like they get to fuck me. Which is also why I hate the friend zone thing, because like if you're complaining about being in the friend zone, like you're not really the person's friend. Like you're just a vulture, like waiting for them to fall, and then you can like pick up the pieces and feed on the carcass. It's like no one deserves to sleep with anyone. Like no one's entitled to sleep with anyone. It's God. I went through another breakup too in the past couple weeks. My therapist, the same weekend my boyfriend and I broke up, my therapist told me she was moving out of town. She'd taken a new job. So it didn't have anything to do with me per se, but I want to say breakup because I'm dramatic. And now I have to find a new one, which is just the fucking worst. It's like trying to find a new relationship. It's like trying to find a new hairdresser. Because a haircut and therapy are pretty much the exact same thing. And I'm not just talking about like in a self-care way, like, oh, a good haircut can be really therapeutic. No, they're like exactly the same. Because first of all, it's really hard to find a good person, because they're always booked, and you know, you don't want someone 2 months from now, you want them now. Like, this situation is pressing. This is like an issue that needs to be dealt with now. I can't wait. And then the hair, like the human psyche, is very fragile. And we all need something different. You know, they try to classify us like oily, dry, damaged, narcissistic personality disorder. But everybody needs a little bit something different. So it is really hard to find the right person, because one bad appointment can fuck you up for months if you go to the wrong person. And even the experiences are the same, because imagine it. Going to a haircut, going to therapy. You walk in, and the first thing you do is you sit down, and they really stare at you. They really scrutinize you. They usually ask you something like, so what are you looking for? What would you like to get out of today? And I'm always like, man, is this your job? Like, can't you just look at me and like tell what's wrong, like what needs fixing? I really have to tell you, but you always have to tell them. And then they take you to scrub away the grime from your head from the day or your entire life. And sometimes it feels good. They're like massaging your brain and it feels kind of nice. And sometimes it gets too intense. The water's too hot. And then they bring you, once you're like a bedraggled, vulnerable mess, and they can really see what they're working with, they've stripped everything away, then they sit you down for the real period of self-reflection. And you have to really look at yourself. In a light that you've never seen before. The light under which you are examined is often not flattering, and then you go, fuck, is this what other people see all the time? Is this what other people are used to seeing? And you're poked and you're prodded and they start working on you and you're forced to do uncomfortable things like hold your head this certain angle or stay still or like forgive your dad. Then they start asking oddly specific questions and you're going, why are you asking me this now? Well, is this relevant? What are you going to do with this information? And then you also have to hope that whatever they're doing back there, often you can't see what they're doing back there. You don't really know where they're going with it, with their treatment. All you have to do is just hope that you don't leave more depressed and insecure than when you came in. And then finally they finish up and they ask something like, so how do you feel? And if you're like me, and you are a people pleaser and also a fucking liar, you'll usually say something like, I feel so good, thank you. Oh my God, I just feel like a different person, I feel amazing. You haven't even looked at yourself yet, you haven't even let the appointment sink in, but you don't want to disappoint them, so you just fucking lie, like you're not even sure how it's going yet, but you're like, no, it's great, you helped so much, you should be so proud of yourself. And then the aftermath can go several ways. It's like sometimes it's really shitty and it's just awful and you were definitely worse than when you came in. Sometimes you're not even sure if they did anything at all. Like there's a lot of hair on the floor. We talked about a lot of childhood trauma. But then I look in the mirror and I feel the same. Sometimes what they do is technically good, but it's just not your style. Like, why does every hairstylist think I want to look like Nancy Grace? And they'll be using like tools and methodologies that I'm never gonna use at home. Like, I don't own a round brush, I don't own a hairdryer, and I'm not gonna buy a bullet journal, and I'm not gonna practice mindfulness. Sorry, it's just not for me. I'm not gonna meditate every morning. If I meditate, I'm just gonna be thinking more about the shit I'm anxious about. And then sometimes, miraculously, you actually feel good. You feel confident, you feel like a new person, you like want to show off, you know, how great you are. The problem is, you can wake up the next morning feeling exactly the fucking same again. One shower is all it takes to dissolve that illusion of perfection completely, and then you're back to feeling like shit. But finding someone to cut your hair is hard, finding someone to give you therapy is hard because, you know, we all know ourselves better than anyone else knows us. We may even know the work that needs to be done. But the truth is, we don't have the right tools, we're not qualified, and if we try to do it ourselves at home, we're just gonna fuck it up worse for ourselves. That being said, I have cut my own hair for the last year. But I am gonna work on trying to get a new therapist, so hopefully that goes well. It's hard for me too, because I'm an actor, and so sometimes when I'm in therapy, I find myself doing a bit. I found myself doing a comedy bit for my therapist. She was like, oh, I'm writing this down. And I worry if like, what, am I being genuine? Like, what if I'm such a good actor that I'm fooling myself into thinking that I'm okay? And I don't think that's too likely because even though I am an actor, I'm terrible at hiding my emotions. Because the thing is like, you want me to pretend I'm fine? You want me to act okay? Like, I'm not at fucking work. I'm not pretending shit. And so I'm done with the pretending. Like when it comes to my next relationship, I'm done with like the perfect facade where you try to show your best side to everyone and, you know, hide all your flaws. I say get it all out in the open right away. I'm gonna tell people my traumas. I'm gonna share my guilty pleasures. I'm gonna introduce them to all my worst friends. You know, I'm gonna warn them, you may have to watch Bachelor in Paradise with me. You may have to hear too much information about my fertility cycle. You may have to learn the unpleasant fact that Timothée Chalamet has licked my armpit. To be clear, Timothy Chalamet is the name of my foster kitten. He's a total pervert, and it's really hard to say no to him. I like him. So, I want to make sure that everyone does this because there's no point in hiding everything in the beginning because they're going to find out sooner or later. So just be yourself, expose your true self to everyone. And if they don't like it, fuck them. No, don't fuck them. Don't fuck them. So I'm going to work on trying to expose myself to some of you tonight, and I hope you all do the same. And I hope you have a great night. Thank you.
Isabel Madley, everybody! One more time! Give it up for Isabel. Give it up for therapy, too, I guess. My therapist was like, Tripp, you need to express your fears and your worries more honestly. And I said, okay, I'm worried this is a waste of money. She said, no, not like that, not like that. Moving right along, we got coming up next another great Wayward comedy comedian. You can see him every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. at Chili Line at our open mic. I don't know if we've mentioned that yet. We have an open mic at Chili Line every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Anyway, our next comedian, a very funny man, Phil Johnson, everybody. Phil Johnson.
Man, it is nice to see a lot of people here. And it's a little bit nerve-wracking. You know, you go out, you do comedy in front of a bunch of people. Sometimes people ask you, do you do that trick where you imagine the audience naked? No. Honestly, I like to imagine that I'm naked. Yeah, how you doing? Nobody commands attention like the naked dude in the bar. Everyone's looking. But it is nice to have you all out here on the start of Fiestas, right? Yeah, I'm with you. I think Fiestas is the thing where Texans come to town and they ask if they have to pay to park here, you know? Like, is there a fee here? Jose, Fiestas? I think that's how it's got its name. So I was trying to come up with jokes, and I was having trouble. So I asked, I did what every millennial does, and I asked Siri, you know? I said, Siri, how do you tell a good joke? She said, the secret to a good joke is intonation and timing. Makes sense. Ooh, boy. You know, I know a lot of people don't like COVID. There is one thing good to come from it, though. Not as many superhero movies got released. I am tired of superhero movies. Like we've done it. We've had all the superheroes. You know, the guy who flies, the lady who dives underground, you know, shields, swords. We've done it all. They ran out of superhero movies, and now they're stuck with, like, I don't know, maybe the guy swims real good. Like, yeah, really good though. Like, he swims good. We'll call him Lifeguard Man. I don't know. Because that's one of the things though. All of the superheroes are very specifically gendered. You got Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Batgirl, Boy Wonder. Like, the superheroes are really concerned with what bathroom they use. Which I guess makes sense, because it would be super awkward to be next to Superman at the urinal. You know, doing the thing, urinal man, urinal man. However, a urinal can. Oh, hey, Clark. Yeah, so how's it? And ladies, this is exactly how urinals work, by the way. I mean, I get Man of Steel. Oh, that Lois is a trooper, I tell you what. It would be a little odd. Boy, so I walked out of a gas station the other day, and there was a homeless dude sitting there on the sidewalk, and he wasn't homeless like the world is brutal and sometimes you have no place to stay. No, he was homeless like at some point he made a decision that, you know, white people look cool with dreads. Life path initiated. Right. So he's sitting there on the sidewalk and he's got a big old long loaf of bread, and a half-gallon jar of peanut butter, and he's got the piece of bark stuck in the peanut butter, and he is just making sandwiches. He's doing great. And as I walked by, he asked me, "Hey man, you want a sandwich?" And it actually made me stop and think. Like, here's a guy who spent his last dime, the only money he has in the world, he spent it on this food, on this thing that's keeping him alive. And with this valuable resource, with all that's going on in the world, he saw a random stranger walking by, somebody he doesn't know at all. And he offered them a piece of this valuable resource. And it made me think, man, how bad do I look? I don't know. I do like to drink beer, I'm gonna be honest. You guys like beer? All right. A couple of you? That's good. I like to drink beer. My favorite beer is Dos Equis. Not because of the beer, but because of the ad campaign. You remember the most famous, the most interesting man in the world? I don't always drink beer, but when I do, I prefer Dos Equis. He's fantastic. Thing is, Dos Equis is not real strong. I'd prefer something a little stronger, you know? So I wish Dos Equis made malt liquor. They could call it like Dos Equis S, like, you know, something like that. It would be, I don't always drink malt liquor, but when I do, it's 2XS. Yeah, that's just one of my product ideas. I have so many product ideas. You guys will walk out of here rich. Like there was somebody who walked up to me the other day, and he said, "Hey, do you want to save the whales?" I was like, "Save the whales, like on their cell phone bill? What do you mean save the whales?" I didn't get it. But you know, I'm a doer. So I went ahead and created a cell phone plan for whales. It's an affordable cell phone plan because I couldn't believe that they would blow their whole check on their cell phone bill. Like I thought it had to be some kind of fluke. You know, they needed somebody to defend them. So they were getting gray about it. They were pretty blue. I know, they needed some bailing out. Yeah. So I came up with the affordable cell phone plan for whales. It's called Mobile Dick. It's based right here with Herman Operators here in Melville. Mobile Dick, where our motto is, "Call me, Ishmael." I take it I love you back. All right. So if you like puns, I want to tell you about how I grew up. Ever since I was growing up, I always wanted to be a carpenter. You know, I wanted to build furniture. I wanted to build chairs. You know, but because I'm a leprechaun, I wanted to build magic chairs. Chairs that, when you sat in them, they bestowed great fortune upon you. See, though the problem is that thieves kept breaking into me workshops. They kept breaking in, thieves. And they kept breaking in and stealing the bits of my chairs that provided the greatest provenance to you. So instead of chairs, I had more stools. And it just goes to show that them thieves, they were after me like each arms. That's right, folks. I've been Phil Johnson. You've been all right. It's been nice to have you here.
Phil Johnson, everybody! We are moving right along. We got 3 more comics for you tonight. I hope you're still having fun. We doing good? Yeah. Bar's right over there. Remember to tip your bartenders. Be good. Our next comic, it's been conventional to this point in the evening, all right? This next comic, he's a visionary. He's a mystic. He's one of a kind. Please give it up for Mr. Ryan Lawless, everybody. Ryan Lawless.
I finally made it, guys. Yeah! I've known how long I've seen the stage and been like, yeah, someday, maybe. And now it's finally here. I don't know if I'll be back, though. Let's see how it goes. We just had Zozobra, right? Did anyone go to that? Whoa. That was crazy, right? A Michael Jackson puppet that we burned. And then before we burned it, we listened to his music, kinda, didn't we? It's like, gee, pick a side, guys. Like, this is really hard. Right. That was the first joke. You guys are a great audience. Thanks for coming out here tonight. Oh man, I love the bartenders here. Amelia, shout out to you, my love. I'm single. And also, people are really excited about the balloon fiesta, right? My friend came up to me, he was like, yeah, you excited about the balloon fiesta? And I said, does this bag over my head not look like I'm excited? All right. But we're past that now, I think, and moving on to Happy New Year. I found out a new way to say Happy New Year, and it goes like this. The world is an endless void! It kind of has the same holiday cheer, you know, ring to it all. Someone was telling me I lacked the crowd participation, so here you go. I think that works. I should do more of that. I go that good that time. All right. These are the bottom of the IQ bucket jokes, so don't hate me. All right, that guy's a big person. So I was looking for a microfiber cloth the other day, and I couldn't find it. You know why? Didn't have a microscope. Sons of bitches are hard to find. All right. A patriot was trying to hypnotize me the other day, and all I had to say to that was, quit trying to patronize me, man. And that's how you get them to walk away. All right. So, I was charged with assault and battery the other day. Guy looked at me kind of weird, right? Like he just got silent. But it's it's weird when you go to the store and all you need is assault and a battery, and a person just looks at you like you don't fit there. I get it. There's no excuse for it. It's wrong. It's wrong. Don't do it, guys. I'm just saying. But I have been intrigued by this lady, and I was thinking I could get her a gift before going on a date, right? And I went to Bed Bath & Beyond, and I said, yeah, I'm going on a date. I want to get a gift for this girl, and he said, you should get her a bath bomb. And I said, hey, man, I love her. I don't want to kill her. You kind of went straight to the Beyond part there. I didn't even tell you anything. I love that place, right? But they fucked up there. Yeah. So somehow I still ended up going on a date, though, right? Imagine that, Tinder, you fucked up. And she, we were talking, having a little convo, trying to see if there's any sort of similar interests we could share. And she was like, oh yeah, you tell jokes? That's great. I love dad jokes. Could you tell me a dad joke? And hence, I don't know what a dad joke is. So it went something like this. Your dad is so gay. He sucks dick. We don't have a second date coming, but I thought things were cool then. Yeah, I'm still single. Still single. That's a joke, because you knew that. So the last thing I turned on when I was naked? The shower. Because it sadly works that way. If you do it the other way, it's even more depressing. Thank you. I was dealing with a person who I was talking to this girl, and he kind of came in all masculine, macho way, trying to tell me I was out of my league, which caught me by off guard and surprise, because I was like, wait a minute, I'm in a league? What's practice, dude? Oh wait, are points good? I don't. Wait, is this a fantasy? Because I heard these fantasy leagues before, and it's a main trick to pull on some fucking fantasy. These fucking guys, those assholes. The same guy was talking about and bragging about how much he could kill things with his bare hands, right? And he was like, "What can you kill with your bare hands? I killed a deer once with my bare hand. What can you do?" And I was like, "Well, I accidentally got caught in a bear trap, so I'm gonna be out of the killing game for about 2 weeks." You gotta beat those masculinity people with a little bit of smartness. Just a little bit. Okay. So, the same guy, I feel has some really bad shit to say sometimes. He always says like this, he says, yeah, you ever hear a good guy with a gun can always beat a bad guy with a gun? Right? I'm over there but what if the good guy has bad aim? And random, but what if that bad guy had good aim? Right? We should probably rethink things. We're gonna die. All right, you're with me. Okay. Yeah, those sayings, man, that can really much sometimes. Have you ever heard that saying? If you can't do, you teach. Yeah. Well, what do teachers do? Do they teach? I don't know. That's another one that's really bad. Okay. I haven't fainted yet, so thus far I'm good. Crowd participation. All right. And, that same teacher, maybe they are, good with what they're doing, because sometimes I hate that teacher. in my life when I would have to ask them if I could go use the bathroom, and they would snobbily say to me, "I don't know, can you?" In which I took them to a full challenge and like, full spread, pee my pants. I can! A+, right? A+? That was just a moment also to show off my tracksuit. Anyone else got Adidas in the house tonight?
Yeah, boy!
Oh yeah! We in here. We in here. I don't know any other like loud noises to make, so I'm just gonna stop there. Okay. Hey, you know, sometimes I get a hot chai, and someone asks me, you know, like, "Hey, how's that hot chai?" And I say, "It's hot chai!" Because those sons of bitches are hot, man. Sometimes if I have a passenger along on a ride with me, and I go down the street I like called Quay Pa, I say, "Hey man, look out for..." Oh man, it's too late, it's already passed. Okay, it's gonna get real dark right now. Oh, right. Hey, do you guys know how Jesus got abs? Or got his abs? Yeah. CrossFit. What? That's like I had bad taste. You know, those things were hard to work for. I want those. But do you know how Jesus died? CrossFit. I don't know if I can really handle that workout. Seems too death-defying. Yeah. One time, you know, I saw this old guy at a bar, and I was just having a near-death experience. I almost got hit by a car, and I'd asked this guy, "Hey, it happens to people like me," but I asked this guy at a bar, and I was like, "Hey man, you ever had any near-death experiences?" Because I wanted to relate to someone. And he said, "I'm 90 years old. How close is near?" You're right, man. And I was like, "Yeah, my arm's hurting though really bad." And he was like, "When I was your age, my arm never hurt me." And I was like, "You don't have to be ageist now. That's fucked up." All right. I don't know if I do go to hell, that's well, whatever. So be it. But if there is a heaven, I don't know what's gonna happen, right? But if there is, you know, what I think might happen is gonna be this. It's gonna be a voice that comes like right after I die, right? From that masculinity guy that's like just gonna punch me in the head. Or like gunfight, right? I'm just gonna die. And then with a voice in my head, it's just gonna say this and go, "Round 2, fight." And that's my worst fear. My name's been Ryan Lawless. Thank you all for coming.
Every time I see Ryan Lawless do comedy, I feel like I learned something, I feel like I go somewhere, and I feel like I need to start buying some Adidas sweatsuits. That shit looks comfortable as hell. We got 2 final comedians for you tonight. This next comedian, we try to have a guest comedian the last time we've done these 2 shows, so this next comedian is our guest comedian. She comes to us all the way from Albuquerque. Very scenic. She has a great podcast, Carla V Thinks Out Loud. Please give a nice, warm Santa Fe welcome to Carla Vasquez, everybody.
What is up? Good to be here. Before I put this down, can we cheers to the night? Cheers to Tumbleroot, to yourselves, to Wayward, to Tripp for having me. All right, I'm here. Came so far.
Lots of cheers!
Dressed like this because I think Santa Fe is outdoorsy people. They call me the Ninja Daria in Albuquerque. Oh yeah, thanks. Ah man, Ninja Daria. I did wear a sports bra tonight. I probably won't have to run anywhere. Here, it feels safe. I'm from Albuquerque. I live downtown. I'm used to the danger. Also, like, okay, so when I was a kid, do you guys remember, ladies, that book, Are You There, God? It's me, Margaret. First of all, that's not a book, that's like a sentence. It's not title verb. Are you there, God? There's period, question mark, whatever. It's me, comma, Margaret. So Margaret goes to summer camp or some shit, and all her friends get their period. Guys are like, Stay with me here. All right, so Margaret doesn't have her period yet, but she's trying to pretend. And then they have this it's a Judy Blume book. They have this circle of girls, this chanting circle to get their boobs bigger. And they go, I must increase my bust. And they do this movement during it. That plus my sister and her best friend telling me that you should pull on your nipples to make your boobs bigger. I blame them for my future breast lift. My back hurts. Oh, I'm back. It was fun. Yeah, and now I wear 36i. So my eyes are down here, actually. Yeah, I'm Mexican, Carla Vasquez. Yeah, I'm pale. Yeah, we come in all shades, even vampire. Yeah, my mom was straight from Mexico, Zacatecas, Tequila District, what's up? And my dad, El Paso, Brown Town. People I date are like, you're not Mexican, and then they have sex with me for the first time, and they see my brown nipples in my brown downtown. Not El Paso, but my vagina. You take me home as Carla, you wake up next to Carlos. I got a sweet 5 a.m. shadow. I shaved for you tonight, you're welcome. I just came back from doing some comedy in Tucson, did podcasts out there. On the way there was a train wreck, a semi-truck wreck. And my side was kind of going, the other side was so backed up that I got to see all these truckers coming out of their trucks and be like, what's going on up there? Guys, truckers are hot now. I don't know what happened. They don't look like the human reincarnation of Homer Simpson anymore. They're they go to the gym, they're young. I'm about to hang out at Love's truck stop to find me some love. Worst comes to worst, I just become a lot lizard. Make some money, you know? Carla, Lala, the lot lizard. Send all my family and friends some cute-ass keychains and postcards from the Love's gift shop. Let's do this. Ah, man. I'm tall for a Mexican, I'm 5'8". I probably should have been taller. My mom was 5'10". Tiny as fuck, 110 pounds. My dad was 6 foot. But I was born 24 inches tall, so never anything shorter than 2 feet, and I was 10 pounds, 10 ounces. I dislocated my mother's hips. Rest in peace, Mom. It's actually not how she died. Jumping ahead here. But yeah, I was a big ass kid, huge. I was big enough to scale the cabinets and the countertops in my house to reach the medicine cabinet and take out the Dimetap, the original purple drink. I was a 5-year-old addicted, guys. So good. And I knew at that time to even fill it with a little bit of water, so they wouldn't know. Fuck you, 3-6 Mafia, sipping on some scissor. I was there first. Lil Wayne got in a coma for sipping on that purple drink. I'm like, shh, I was 5, pussy. In my 20s, I'm 35 now, but in my 20s, I did have an addiction. Fancy one. It was opioid pills, what I thought were painkillers at the time. Painkillers, drink down with a box of Franzia each night. Just open the valve. I would slap the bag for myself. Just remember that game, slap the bag. We have some people who were in college 10 years ago. Yeah. That was big then. So I had that addiction, and I feel really bad. because I was getting prescriptions, but also my mom at the time had cancer and she's living in Georgia. I was in Kansas. And she was sending through the USPS pain medicine, like narcotics, to me basically. And I was taking them, but I did eventually get over the habit. I'm clean now from that. No Franzia, just IPAs. Did get over the habit, but it's pretty easy to like kick a habit when your drug dealer kicks the bucket. Like, rest in peace, Mom. It's weird when you bring up a dead parent. Like it was like, it's like whiskey dick, kind of like. Somebody asks like, hey, where's your mom live? I'm like, she's dead. And they're like, I'm sorry. I'm like, I'm sorry. They're like, no, I'm sorry. I brought it up. Like, I'm sorry. My mom's dead. Just like whiskey dick. He's like, I'm sorry, I can't keep it up. No, I'm sorry, I can't get it up. I'm sorry, I can't. Apology ping pong back and forth all night. I'm sure my mom would like me, like comparing her to limp dicks right now. Okay, it's 9/11. I'm sure there's some other orphans today. 'Tis the season. My mom's birthday was actually yesterday too. So, happy birthday, Mama! I grew up in national parks across the country. My dad was in the National Park Service for 42 years. And people were like, wasn't that dangerous? Like lions, tigers, bears. We don't have tigers here, whatever. You get the point. I'm like, it was, but the scariest part about it was living at the Grand Canyon when I was 12 and Heaven's Gate had just happened. And I found out what suicide was. I just take my Walkman to the edge of the Grand Canyon. My Walkman blaring. I wish you would step back from that ledge, my friend. Third Eye Blind. I did step back from that ledge eventually. Doing great now. What do they say about mental hospitals? 7th time is a charm? Is that what they say? I'm doing good. Yeah, no, years later we went and threw my mom off the edge of the Grand Canyon. Not her body, her ashes. It was a really beautiful moment, like me and my two sisters throwing her ashes, and then the wind sweeps up, and it's like that scene in The Big Lebowski. Wind just sweeps up, and my mom came in my mouth, you guys. Which is really weird because I'm used, like, I had to spit her out, and I'm used to swallowing. Oh, mother. I'm trying to better my life, guys. I'm 35. Let's do this. Let's better it. Get back in shape. I'm wearing this to disguise some like fupa and like a flat ass or something. Good here. Yeah, the government gave me an EBT card. Eat broke today card. Yeah. Got fatter off that. I feel like a walking chorizo or like. I just like unbutton this bodysuit. It's like can of cinnamon rolls. Trying to do this. Trying to do like intermittent fasting. I call that sleeping 12 hours a night. Can't eat when you're asleep. But if you do that, if you sleep 12 hours a night, you actually like lose 1 day a week. So it's like 1 less than a regular week and 2 less than a Beatles week. 8 days a week. Beatles fans? Yeah. Doing that. I also do microdose mushrooms. It's called psilocybin. It's legal here somewhere. Every like 6 months, I'm like, let's go on a trip, girl. Let's like, get our brain back in our head. I like mushrooms because it feels like my soul is getting a massage from the inside. Like, you know, like my soul is getting like fisted, just like a soul fisted. I'm sorry, you guys seem like lovely people. Like my dad's age. Dad won't come to my shows, but thank you. You're my honorary dad tonight, Papa. Oh man, yeah. I went to the dentist a lot during COVID. I'm trying to better my life, you know. Bone issues and also like not taking care of myself in my 20s. I lost some teeth. because I have insurance for the. Anyway, I have partial dentures now, guys. And when you get partial dentures, it's like a 5 to 10 step program where like, I'm like, am I in AA now? I don't know, I just want teeth. But I go and then my dentist like pokes me and then later I bit him, but it's like, it's his fault. Don't ask me questions while you have something in my mouth. Guys, I'm looking at you. Do you want me to suck it or talk? If I'm having trouble pronunciating, it's because of the partial dentures. There's no like worse time to like mispronunciate something than sex. Yeah, because put it in there sounds a lot like pull my hair. Depends on your level of pain tolerance. Yeah, but I went, and then also like it's not hot when you're like in foreplay, like you're making out and you're like, hold on, I gotta take out my partial dent. So cute. Cute. Oh man. Do you guys know in Nigeria, tangent here, in Nigeria in strip clubs, not strip clubs, we're going to strip clubs, at weddings, they spray the money like a strip club at the bride and the groom. Just customary, cool, get some money. But I think if a native Nigerian dude came to a strip club here for the first time, he'd be like, where's the groom? When's the groom coming out? It's like, nobody's coming except for your friend Mark next to you in his Walmart sweatpants. A friend of mine is real Mark. He goes to strip clubs often. He's stoked they're open again. He once got a blowjob in the back by a stripper that took out both sets of dentures, top and bottom, like full sets. Gave him head, and he said it felt like putting his dick in a gummy bear. Yeah. So I figured, like, I still have most of my teeth, so I guess if I take my dentures out, it's like putting your dick in like a melted Crunch bar. Equal? Oh, fun shit. Oh, man. What else is going on? Like, how much time have I even been up here? I'm like, look at the light. We're just seeing that. Who knows? I could talk to you guys forever. Oh, we're at 13 minutes, guys. Great. I'm doing great. Okay. I wore my running shoes for this, to be fair. 2 more minutes. Not running the light. Oh, man. Okay, what else is going on? I do go to therapy. Surprise, surprise. Got my Dimetap addiction, my dead mom, you know, like my opioid franzy at times. So I go to therapy, I'm her favorite client. Don't know if that's good or bad, running with it. I originally started going to therapy when I was 14 though, when my parents started divorcing and I was emo as fuck and they're like, we're worried about you. So they sent me to therapy, but then my mom started banging my therapist. True story. But like, it's okay, because he looked like David Duchovny from Prime X-File days, you know? Not as hot as Scully, that redhead. I cross all the ways, I'm clear, what's up? Yeah, my mom started being my therapist, and then my mom, and I stopped going to therapy for a while, and then my mom died 7 years ago, and I was like, okay, it's time, I should go back. Because I felt safe that my therapist would not be a motherfucker. Like I said, I'm queer, I can't just stop on that, whatever. We had Pride Month recently. I say I'm queer because like when I used to say bisexual, it didn't really encompass who I am. Because I like the rainbow, like I said, and then dudes were always like, threesome? Are we having a threesome? And then you say you're queer, and dudes are like, you have a penis? Where's it at? It's in my dreams, and that's between me and my therapist. Now I say I'm queer because I feel like the rainbow sometimes and I want to taste the rainbow. I already have, actually. Skittles, if you're listening, sponsor me. Sponsor me. Oh man, told you guys a lot about me tonight. Thank you for listening. And I'll leave you on this, a good tip. If you are sad and down and just whatever, look up on YouTube, youtube.com. Look that up and look up hippopotamus videos. I fucking love them, they're my spirit animal. They're cute as fuck and people give them a hard time. They're empathetic. They will kill predators for prey and they don't eat the predators. Cool, right? Like they have pink milk and pink sweat and they like can run up to 19 miles an hour on land. And I know that, but I don't know how to do my taxes. Or how much water to put in my rice cooker and I use it twice a week. I don't know. But yeah, look up hippos. And then when the hippos have sex, the dude just like comes up to the lady hippo and waggles his tail at her. And simultaneously poops. And then he like takes her out into the water and like starts humping her and submerges her. And almost drowns her, but that also could have been Pornhub. It's been a long COVID, guys. Thank you all for listening. It's so great to be here. Carla Vasquez Comedy.com. Carla, big things out loud. Thank you.
Carla Vasquez, everybody! How about that? After you look up hippos on YouTube.com, look up Wayward Comedy on YouTube.com. Seamless plug. Seamless. Are you ready for your final comedian of the night? Come on. We got one more. We've had a great night. You're a great crowd. Our final comedian of the night, please give a big warm welcome to Nick Pelton, everybody. Nick Pelton!
All right, thank you, Tripp. Thank you, everyone. Nice to finally be let out of the barn there. It stinks, and the horses are looking at me funny. How you guys doing, Tumbleroot? What's up? You guys doing good? Boy, I tell you, it looks different from up here. This is like the last thing someone sees before a terrible crowd diving accident. You know what I mean? There's no one here. All right, let's get started. I've been obsessed with this French delicacy lately called Cordelon. You guys heard of this? Cordelon? There's a chance I'm pronouncing it exactly correctly. But what happens is a Frenchman takes a small, cute bird, and the Frenchman turns around and does unspeakable things to the bird. Nobody knows what he does to that bird. Then he fries it, and then you eat it. But this is why it's intriguing to me. Whatever he does to that bird is so shameful that traditionally to eat it, you actually have to drape a napkin over your face before you can do it, to hide yourself from God. Pretty tricky, right? Pretty good move. And keep in mind, this is the French, right? These guys eat foie gras for breakfast, they eat veal for lunch, they smoke cigarettes for dinner, they teach their kids how to drink wine before they can read. So what on earth is that Frenchman doing to that bird that's so delicious? I've got to know. I've got to try it. But the other thing that really strikes me about it is what a move to just put a napkin over your face and be like, sorry, God, you have no idea what's going on down there. Like, if you were around in religious times and you figured that out, you'd be the greatest inventor of all time. It's like cold fusion. Good news, everybody, we can do anything now. You know what I mean? He's like, wait a minute. Jesus is a cocksucker. Holy shit, it worked! And he had to be real careful about how he told his friends. Like, hey, Francois, come here. Check this out. I figured it out. If you put a napkin over your face, you can do anything. And God Hey! How you doing up there? Just come here. Look, dude, we can do anything down here. We could even kiss if you wanted. No, I think I'd like a fried bird. Yeah, that's fine, we can have that, but for now we can kiss. Nope, fried bird for me, please. That sounds good. So you can only imagine, this is like bigger than a Tesla. This would spread across France like wildfire, right? Everyone's wearing napkins over their face, getting away with murder, and meanwhile God's up in the cloud, and he's like, what the hell are they doing down there? What's happening? Hey, Jesus, come here. They're just getting trickier and trickier. I can't figure out what they're up to. Now see, I'm not a particularly religious guy. I wasn't born into a religious family, but I recently had what I'd call a religious epiphany. I realized it just feels right to me to consider God or the universe as, like me, an idiot, right? God's an idiot. He doesn't want this job. He didn't ask for this, you know what I mean? He has no training. The manual he's reading is completely outdated. It's like, in case of dinosaurs, use meteor. Oh, thank you. He's like a landlord's son. Do you know what I mean? He doesn't want to be in charge. He's like, ugh, I gotta take care of the whole universe? For how long? Eternity? Are you kidding me? Oh man, oh Christ. You know? So he's having trouble. He's trying to keep it together up there. You know, I can imagine he decides to himself, okay, I'm gonna take a bong rip off of this volcano over here, no big deal. Lights it up. He wanders over here, maybe he forgets to pay attention to that flame, looks at the clouds for a while. Hey look, that one looks like me. And then he looks back and he's like, oh shit, a forest fire! Who started this? Who did this? And so he's like, okay, God, think quick, forest fire, piece of cake. A hurricane will put it out. We'll just, okay, hurricane, go! Damn it, wrong ocean. I always put it in the Atlantic Ocean, it's a force of habit. Shit. So God looked down upon what he had wrath, and God said, yikes. And it's just like me, you know? Like the time I tried to send my coworker an email calling him an asshole, and I accidentally sent it to the entire staff, which is a true story. Yikes. You know? Like when he said he built man on his own image, that's a warning. That's like an apology. He's like, oh boy, guys, this is all I know. You're gonna be confused and frustrated. You're gonna get a lot of indigestion. It's gonna mainly be your fault. Your pants are never gonna fit. Oh boy. Anyway, I wrote a book. Here you go. It doesn't make any fucking sense, but you know, I don't know. You guys can fight about it if you want. So anyway, that's it, guys. I know not answering any questions. I'm out of here. That's God's exit, not mine. And he just goes, whoop. It's actually moments like that where I wish I could go whoop and just disappear out of any kind of bad situation. As a comedian, you run into that a lot. I've actually, believe it or not, been doing this for about 5 years now. Part of an open mic that we do down at Chili Line Brewery. Have a lot of new and fledgling comedians down there. Yes, it's very fun, very exciting to see some of them here tonight. And a lot of times they'll come up to me and ask for advice, and I tell all young comedians the same piece of advice, which is this: stop being so fucking funny. Would you just cool it with the jokes already? You gotta build up your ego, have everyone laugh at you. See, here's the secret. Real comedians aren't in it for the laughs anymore. Laughs are like weed. Laughs are like light. You know what I mean? That first laugh gets you high for the rest of the night. You're on top of the world. You're like, nothing can stop me now because that guy laughed at me once. But after that, you need more and more until you finally flip. So I'm going to tell you the true dragon that comedians are chasing. It's the perfect bomb. I'm close right now. For anyone who doesn't know what a bomb is, it's when people are not laughing very hard. And so it's that stinky cheese, it's that cordelon that comedians are chasing, you know what I mean? It's that thing where you try to talk yourself out of it, but you accidentally talk yourself right into it. Like, man, I'm not going to Blanche's house. She smells funny. Her hands are so rough. She's in a different time zone, and her face is so weird. Hey, yo, Blanche, what's up, you know? That's what we're looking for. So, to describe the perfect bomb, for anybody who hasn't experienced it, basically what happens, it's like you're in a jet that's flying out of control, if you can imagine, okay? It's just, nobody's laughing, the thing's shaking like a mess. I try to bail out with this terrible lesbian mafia joke, but it only makes things worse. Until finally, you hit the sonic barrier. And it's the moment where exactly 100% of the audience is having a bad time. And it's silent, and it's still. It's like you're one with the universe, and the universe says, no thanks. It's like a sensory deprivation chamber. I'm like, oh my God. That lesbian mafia joke bombed so bad, I can hear my blood flowing. It bombed so bad, I can feel my sperm. No, each and every one of them. There's only 32. I feel like, is that low? Is that a problem? So that's it's a beautiful thing that us comedians are chasing. I'll tell you what, another vulnerable, pathetic animal, much like the comedian, is the panda bear. You guys like panda bears? Boy, these abominations. I'll tell you what. All they do is sit and eat bamboo all day. They don't even know how to reproduce. They don't know how to fight. They don't know how to do anything. In fact, they're the only animal that both evolutionists and creationists try to use to prove each other wrong. Creationists say, there is no way an animal this useless could have possibly evolved. And the evolutionists say, no God would make this abomination of a creature. There is clearly no God. And God, of course, is like, whatever, I don't care, who cares? But panda bears are very sneaky animals. They've got this worldwide scam going on. I don't know if you guys are aware. But the entire world is trying to get panda bears laid. Have you noticed that? Everybody's working to get those panda bears to hook up. And I'll tell you what, man, I'm 30, well, in my 30s, I should say, divorced, and I could use that kind of worldwide support at this stage in my life. I could really use the UN coming together, America and China uniting about getting me laid. All the billionaires would get into it. Elon Musk is tweeting like, it's probably easy to get laid on Mars, I'll help him out, you know? Everybody's uniting. Scientists are getting in on it. They're setting up habitats where they think I could do well. You know, everything's slightly shorter than normal, so I look tall. No men with beards within 40 square miles. You know what I mean? Control room where people can monitor my every actions. And of course, round-the-clock news coverage. Day 30, still no luck. Anyway, guys, I think that's all I've got for you tonight. My name is Pelton. Thank you so much for coming out. Give it up for Nick Pelton, everybody! We're going to bring everybody, all the comedians back up here from tonight. That's the end of our show. Seriously, you guys were an awesome crowd, and really, thank you so much for coming out. I know that it's 9/11, but it's what Rudy Giuliani would have wanted. You cannot let the terrorists win. Give it up one more time for Ryan Lawless, everybody. For Nick Pelton, for TJ Jones, Isabel Madley, Phil Johnson, and Carla coming out. WaywardComedy.com. We have an open mic every Wednesday at 8 p.m. at Chili Line on Guadalupe. Check us out on YouTube. Seriously, thank you so much. You guys are awesome. God bless.